Hey guys, so you probably already know if you follow me on social media because I haven't shut up about it, but I just got back from a trip to Disneyland Paris with Sarah Louise Porter and Outgoing. I went with a big group of Disney fans who I'd never met before. I had spoken to them on the internet though, because before you go they do a Facebook page and a group chat, so everyone get to know each other before the trip. And I had the best time, and I want to talk about it. So on Sunday the 8th of December, I hopped on a train to Birmingham with zero expectations. Not because I didn't think the trip was going to go well, but because I thought I wouldn't go well. I struggle to talk to people, and I struggle in social situations, and I struggle with travelling and panic attacks and anxiety, so I booked this trip to challenge myself, and oh my god, I am so glad that I did. So when I arrived in Birmingham, I kind of felt a little bit lost because I'd honestly only been there once or twice and hadn't seen much of it, but luckily enough, Rhiannon was there to come and pick me up and rescue me from the train station, which I'm very grateful for because honestly I don't think I would have got to Wetherspoons on my own. I probably would have panicked, gone on a train home and never returned. A big group of us, we all met up in Spoons and waited there for our coach, which was coming at 10 p.m. It turned up early, so we all had to scramble to go and get on the coach, but it was fine. It was probably better that it turned up early because, travel time is a lot on a coach and then getting on a ferry. And I'd been to Disneyland by coach before, but I didn't really remember what it was like because that was years ago, 8 years ago, and it was with school. I think I slept most of the time. I remember lying on the floor on the ferry, so I know I should have known that it was going to be awful, and it was. I spent the whole time, after I'd given out my little Christmas gifts to everyone, I spent the whole time on the floor until the ferry stopped, and then we got back on the coach and we went to Disneyland. Arriving in Disneyland, when we first saw the fantasy, can you tell how tired I am? Getting a first glimpse of the Santa Fe Hotel, I had never stayed there before, and my brother has always been obsessed with Cars, the movies, since he was little. He had so much of the merchandise, so I was actually very excited because Cars had been a huge part of my life. Staying in this hotel, oh my god. My name was on the TV as well. I never thought I'd see my name on a Disneyland telly, and I never thought I'd get that excited about it, but I was very excited about it. The last time I went, I didn't stay in a Disney hotel. I stayed in a partner hotel, the Kyriad, or something like that. I think it's got a different name now, but yeah, it was that hotel. And the time before that I'd stayed in the Chien, which I don't really remember because I was so young. So staying in a Disneyland hotel was pretty cool. Once we got into our rooms, I felt a little sick, so I spent some time settling in. I know a group of people went and spent the day in the parks, and honestly, I was debating it, but I'm glad I didn't because I would not have survived at all. I felt really sick that first day, and I was tempted to just go to bed and write the day off, but I'm glad I didn't. Instead, I went to the village with Rhiannon, bought this, met up with some other people, and the group I was with actually had a booking for Inventions that night, and I kind of really wanted to go. They were going to try and see, the group as a whole was going to see if there were any spare tables to get other people in the group in, but I don't actually know if they did that after or not. However, Danny managed to get me added on to their booking, so I ended up going to Inventions on the first night, which I feel like we were kind of shoved in the corner, so our character interaction wasn't maybe as much as other people's was. I think if I did it again, I would want to be in the main room where the food is, not shoved in a corner, and have more character time as well. But what I will say is the food, amazing. They had mini hash browns and chicken nuggets, so I was okay. But yeah, I was a bit concerned that I wouldn't be able to find anything that I can eat because there's a lot that I'm not supposed to eat. Yeah. And oh my god, the pasta and meatballs. And then I had marshmallows for dessert, which was great. I did get to meet Eel, so I'm very pleased about that because I didn't see him anywhere else for the rest of the trip. So if I didn't go to Inventions, I wouldn't have met Eel. So I'm kind of glad that happened. So the group that I went to Inventions with, I actually ended up spending the entire trip with them. And at first I was kind of like, I feel like I'm gonna be annoying them, but it wasn't them that made me feel that way. It was my own brain convincing me that like no one really wants me around or anything, but that wasn't the case at all. They literally made me feel so comfortable so fast, and it's so rare for me to feel like I can be myself around people so quickly. Like, I was cracking jokes and stuff, and I don't do that around people that I have just met. Also, if any of you guys are watching this and I said a joke that offended you or upset you in any way, I'm so sorry. Like, that's just how I joke with my friends, but hopefully it was actually taken as banter and not just me being very rude, because I can say some horrible stuff when I'm joking, but yeah. Honestly, you guys all made the trip what it was for me. I was fully expecting just to be like a tag along at the back of the main group because I know how shy and quiet I am and how hard it is for me to make friends. So to have you guys like actually want me around was really, really nice. I just really appreciated being adopted into this little group because I literally had the best time with you guys, and I hope the feeling is mutual because otherwise this is really awkward. Moving on. I rode so many rides for the first time on this trip that like I've lost track. I think there was only maybe 2 or 3 rides that I didn't ride at all, which is impressive for me because I am a giant scaredy cat. I honestly think if it wasn't for the fact that I was able to get a disability pass because of my Crohn's disease and my arthritis, then I wouldn't have gone on as many rides because I would have been stood in the queue and psyched myself out and just walked away. So kind of with the disability pass, you cut the queue and you have no choice but to you have no time to chicken out. Before I went, my favourite rides were Pirates and RC Racer because I'd only ever been on Pirates, RC Racer, Slinky Dog, Space Mountain and Small World, I want to say. My favourites have kind of changed. Big Thunder Mountain is my favourite ride now. And I actually went on Tower of Terror. I was panicking the whole time, but I kind of enjoyed it. RC Racer is probably still one of my favourite rides. And I rode Ratatouille for the first time. Like, fuck, I loved it. I love Ratatouille Land. I think that's my favourite area of Disney. Like, the Ratatouille area and the Toy Story area, just because they're my 2 favourite franchises. Crush's Coaster. I don't think I like it. I went on it once, and once was enough. I think it's the fact that it's dark and it's spinning and you don't really know where you're going, but then Space Mountain is also dark. But I enjoy that one. Odd. What I don't enjoy about Space Mountain is getting in and out of the cart. Whew, that stresses me out, especially the getting out part because you have to gather your bags and like climb out and it's difficult and there's people waiting to get in and I'm always scared that the ride's gonna shoot off with me standing on it. That's the only part I don't like. We didn't really see any of the shows because we spent most of our time meeting characters and going on rides, but we did see the Philharmonic, Mickey's Philharmonic, which is kind of like this 4D cinema experience. It's 10 minutes long. I think we mostly went in there to get out of the cold and because like Hyperspace Mountain wasn't running. But yeah, that was incredible. And I kind of caught a bit of Surprise Mickey, which looked amazing. And if we had another day there, I probably would have gone around and watched the shows and the parades and stuff, but trying to get as much done as possible was a priority, to be honest. On the last day of the trip when we had to travel home, I actually ended up having a panic attack and crying my eyes out. I think I worried quite a few people before we got on the coach, because travelling just panics me. I was fine on the way there, but leaving, I don't know what happened. I couldn't breathe. I started crying. I had to be like coaxed onto the coach. But yeah. And then the ferry crossing. Never again. Never again. I think if I go on another one, I will go by train and meet everybody on the other side, because I do not cope well on ferries. Especially, we had such a rough crossing on the way back that it actually added like 40 minutes to our journey. Never again. I shouldn't have even tried to eat either. I was so hungry, so I went and got food when I got on the ferry, and no, never again. Whole chicken goujons in my backpack. It's the end of that story. So I think highlights for me for this trip were Big Thunder Mountain for definite. Meeting Winnie the Pooh. All the character meets, to be honest, were incredible, except for the one bad experience we had with a cast member at Donald Duck, but that wasn't the character's fault, so, and we complained about that and it's all sorted, so I'm not going to go on about it, but yeah, we had a bit of a problem. And finally, the biggest highlight for me on this trip, and I've gone on about it a lot, I know, is definitely the people. Like, I know what I'm like. I was not expecting to come away with friends, but I have, and I'm so grateful. Like, because I find it so hard to make friends with new people, and this just felt easy. It felt like I knew them already, which was kind of insane, but yeah. So massive thanks to Danny, Caitlin, Gemma, Steffi, Mr. Steffi, Chloe, Jamie. It was so nice to meet you all, and thank you for accepting me into your little group, because I'm really grateful for it. And yes, I know I missed somebody out, but this person needs special mention because they put up with me for a very long time. Rhiannon. This is difficult. I don't do feelings, right? This is like not good. I was not expecting to meet someone on this trip that I felt so comfortable with straight away. Like, the minute you came and rescued me from Birmingham train station, I just felt comfortable with you already, and this just sounds really weird, especially for me. I know we had been talking online already, but I don't know, like, if it wasn't for you kind of taking me under your wing on this trip and introducing me to the group, this trip definitely would not have been what it was. You kind of made this trip what it was for me, and I'm very grateful. And I don't know, like as I've said earlier, like, it's so rare for me to feel so comfortable around people straight away, and yeah, I'm not gonna cry. I miss everyone already, but I especially miss Rhiannon, and this is weird. This is weird for me, like, emotions, what are they? Disgusting, gross. This trip, I knew it was gonna be such a big thing for me to try and do. It's kind of like the biggest step on my road to recovery that I've taken. I'm so glad that I took it. I did not feel anxious at all until I had to get on the coach home, and maybe that anxiety came from the fact that I was leaving, but oh my god, I'm so proud of myself for doing it, and so proud of myself for not just locking myself in my hotel room and not going out, because that was tempting on the first day. It really was, but I'm so glad that I didn't do that, and I've come away with friends, and yeah, I'm very happy. If you couldn't tell, I've also come away with like less money than I had and more merch than I had, but that's okay. That's fine. It was worth it. I'm very, very happy that I did this trip. I would honestly recommend doing this if you're on your own and you have no one to go to Disney with. Tearing up. If you're on your own and you have no one to go to Disneyland with, and you really, really want to go, I would 100% recommend going on one of Sarah's trips, because honestly, you won't regret it. You'll make friends. I think everyone came away with a new group of friends, which is incredible. I recommend it. I will leave Sarah's links down below. I will leave links to all of the people I've mentioned in this video that made the trip what it was. I will see you guys soon. I'm gonna go before I cry. Bye. Bye.